Welcome to this week's tax news. We start off with a quick reminder for those with self-assessment tax bills. The second payment on account for the 17-18 tax year became due on Monday of this week. Primarily, this tax bill is based upon last year, and so if you think your tax liability has fallen, then it's not too late. File your tax return as soon as possible to get any excess repaid. If you haven't yet paid the liability because you think it's too much, then we can file a Form SA303 to reduce the tax payments down to the correct level. Remember though that interest is running on any unpaid tax at 2.75%, but the important point is to make sure you're not paying too much tax if you don't have to. The second item this week is news that HMRC have launched an online forum for small businesses and the self-employed. This isn't new, it's been around as a pilot exercise for over a year, but it's now available to all. It's designed to deal with simple generic questions, so for example, you can't use it to find out what your tax liability might be, but you can use it to find out how to find out what your tax liability will be. There is also the HMRC's web chat service, which I've actually used. Although I didn't get the help I was asking for, the person at the other end of the keyboard tried their best and suggested a solution that worked for me. Whether it works, as HMRC hopes, remains to be seen. I can see the service being attractive to some people, and I hope it continues to be used. The link to the forum is on the screen and also in the description below. Then we have another piece of information issued online by HMRC, and it's in regard to the Let Property campaign. HMRC seem convinced that a number of landlords are not declaring all their rental income, and so have been offering a disclosure option for some time. In return for volunteering to bring their tax affairs up to date and declare any rent that hasn't appeared on a tax return, the Let Property campaign offers landlords reduced penalties compared to those that they might be facing if HMRC discover the missing rent themselves. This campaign has been around for a while, but this latest piece of information has only been issued on Monday. It explains various simple examples where you might be a landlord without knowing. I find this a bit patronising because it's set at such a low level, but it's another example where HMRC are trying to communicate directly with the ordinary man in the street who might not have a tax accountant looking after them. Again, the link to the guidance is on the screen and in the description below. Have a look, you might find it useful. I doubt anybody has missed the tax story that made all the headlines. It involves Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese footballer, plying his trade in Spain. It seems he might have had some of his income paid into a limited company, which means he paid less tax than he would have done if that money was paid directly to him. I don't know enough about Spanish tax to comment much, but the Spanish tax authorities seem to be using something similar to our own general anti-abuse rules, under which HMRC can ask you why you set up your affairs in a particular way. And if the main answer to that is to save tax, then HMRC will look to ignore those arrangements and tax you as though they weren't there. This isn't an isolated case. I covered the Lionel Messi case in my blog, and I doubt it will be the last, especially as there are such big figures being bandied about. Ronaldo is being accused of evading £13 million in tax. Unfortunately, football is going through a grubby stage at the moment. That said, there have been some high-profile tax cases in the UK over the years, and if I ever get stuck for a topic, I might do something on them. Lastly, but not least, is news of our next Small Business Forum. The Small Business Forum is a quarterly event where businesses in the Seaford area get together for networking. We put on two 20-minute presentations covering relevant subjects affecting local businesses, and past presentations have included workplace pensions and making tax digital as topics. The next event is scheduled for the 18th of October at Seaford Golf Club, and local lawyers will be discussing business powers of attorney, and local insurance brokers will be discussing, funnily enough, insurance. I will also be given an update on the Making Tax Digital in light of the recent HMRC announcements. Often the question and answer sessions last longer than the presentations, with the presenters making themselves available throughout the meeting. As this is open to non-clients as well as clients, we have to make this an invitation-only event, but invites are free. You can get the invite by either telephoning on the number on the screen or emailing Sue. Email is also on the screen. I hope you found this tax news update useful. Thank you. Goodbye.